trailer from a place on Dawson Island Parkway across from the Seafarer building. From there he transported it to their new apartments on Westwood, where he tried to unload it when Linda gripped the motorcycle and proceeded to take it off the trailer herself. Curtis asked her why did she grip hold of the motorcycle while he was trying to unload it himself. Her response was that she feared it would fall on him and she wanted to help. Later, as time went on, Linda finally did have a miscarriage, and later Curtis was informed by Linda that when she was in the bathroom there was chunks and pieces and lumps of flesh emerging from her while using the restroom. She indicated to Curtis that it may have been the embryo, and properly that's when she must have had the miscarriage. Curtis recalls that Linda had taken some type of substance prescribed by the doctor. Linda said a prescription from the doctor may have played a part in her miscarriage. Linda told Curtis after going back to the doctor and informing to him on what had happened, he replied to her, "Why didn't you tell me that you were pregnant?" Her response was, "That's the reason why I came to you, doctor." Curtis wondered later after his marriage, maybe she wanted to have a miscarriage, or maybe not, but wasn't truly sure of it. In 1986 he worked as an emergency standby man for the shelter until November 6, 1992, where he stepped down in order to give himself a break due to the considerable amount of calls over the years, and perhaps to set some goals on other opportunities, perhaps educational goals. It was during this time, in April 29, 1986, he lived at 2007 Douglas Lane, across from the Seafarer building, and her son Jamie Haigler, born July 4, 1976, was staying with him, but was having a behavior problem. In September 1988, the marriage of Curtis ended suddenly while they lived on Adonia Avenue of Navco Road, where they were by a house, and where one day, as Curtis sensed something wrong with Linda, asked her to what was bothering her. She replied nothing and not to worry, and she would converse with him after he get off from work. After coming home later that day having coffee made for him, calmly asked to talk with him outside. As we were in the backyard, she calmly, with a sad look, said she wanted out of the marriage. As Curtis tried to understand and resolve what was happening, she proceeded to get resentful and angry because he continued to strive and resist on what he was hearing. By December 15, 1988, Linda visited a physician named Robert Komanek. His examination revealed slight dehydration. He recommended hospitalization. Linda indicated to Dr. Roberts that she was taking DC pills and that she had a light stroke at age 26. She also had reported that this diagnosis was based on findings in her eye, but she had no knowledge or symptoms of same, and was allergic to iodine, codeine, caffeine, phenergan, and morphine. 1989, 28 February, was the date Curtis filed Chapter 13, but later, on June 2, 1989, changed it to Chapter 7. By this time Curtis was living at the animal shelter before he started to stay with his brother at 6164 Shady Grove Trailer Park. Theodore, his wife Linda, was staying at 2756 South Ford Drive, spelled F-A-U-R-E, in Mobile, Alabama. The attorney for Curtis and Linda on Chapter 7 was William M. Clark. The same attorney was Curtis's divorce attorney. It was also that year the shelter burned to the ground, and if Danny Ezell had not come by the shelter to ask Curtis to stay a while with him and Patricia, he would have died in that fire. 1991, 12th day of October, Curtis proposed to Margie. They were at Arby's, a fast food restaurant located on Government Street and Washington Avenue. Curtis and Margie selected the ring at Whitehall Jeweler shortly after they became engaged. 1991, 6th day of December, Curtis stopped by where Margie worked downtown. With the biggest grin he got Margie off to the side in hopes to be alone with her and pulled a wrapped box from his jacket. Margie opened it while her hand shook like a slight movement, and it was a ring. Margie cried after seeing it, and Curtis said, "Now it's official, will you marry me?" She just cried and hugged him and confirmed that she would marry him. In 1992, his life turned around and he was married to Margie Ann Kirby on the 24th of April. She is the daughter of Clifton Lyle Kirby, born April 16, 1929, and Mary Margaret Crooker, born March 25, 1934. In December 9, 1992, Curtis mailed a $10 filing fee to the Patent and Trademark Office for a document describing the best way of making a safety stick on holding animals. On December 14, 1997, the document was received and a disclosure document number 321733 was given, which was good for 2 years. On May 15, 1992, Curtis successfully completed a training program in animal control at the Academy in Atlanta, Georgia. His wife Margie came along with him while his co-worker Jimmy Dunklin drove the city car. Margie and Curtis stayed together in a nice room and, by the way, was also great for their honeymoon. What was sad, although, was news from home informing Margie that her uncle, Johnny, had died at home on June 18, 1992. He also successfully completed hands-on training for the euthanasia technician. In 1995, going that extra mile is what earned Ezell the first Crystal Ball Award. In 1996, he also received the Mayor's Extra Special Performance Award for changes he'd made within the department that saved the city money. He and his wife, Margie, own a home in Wilmer. In his spare time, Ezell works on his own computer tracing his family ancestry. October 11, 1996, the City of Mobile Action Center dispatched a request to give thanks to Curtis for efforts in retrieval of a dog belonging to the son of Kathleen McDonald. Action request or log number 50588. On March 13, 1997, his picture and story was placed in the Mobile Press, located in the suburban section. Correspondent Debbie Foster. On April 9, 1997, Curtis's uncle Nathan Lawrence died. He died at Spring Hill Memorial Hospital. He was on life support and had been taken off the support when he died, which was requested by one of his doctors, Governor Lawrence and Doris Longworth, which agreement was made. It was for the best that life support be disconnected. At the cemetery, the pallbearers was Curtis Ezell, Danny Ezell, Jimmy Ezell, Alan Longworth, Ricky Schumacher, and Daniel Chodron. June 6, 1997, Friday. Curtis had a day off from work and decided to visit his sister Carolyn in Moss Point, Mississippi, and for some reason made a stop at his other sister's place, Donna. Most of the time he would have passed on by, but thank goodness he did stop, because Carolyn was at Donna's place. She was there because her house had burned up. And had Curtis stoked, he would have been in shock only to see Carolyn's house gone from fire. The fire marshal Lethbridge said in the Mississippi Press the house burned twice in one day. The first fire was by 2 children play with a lighter. The second fire was believed to be arson, started with a flammable liquid. He said you could smell it when you got there. July 16, 1997, at 1:33 p.m., Curtis had received the Certificate of Appreciation Award, called the Crystal Ball Award, presented to him by the mayor. June 3, 1998. Curtis received a letter at his job from George Kretemeyer of the PQM/Strategic Planning. The letter was dated June 2, 1998. In this letter was a congratulations on a Telekinesis Award. It mentioned that he would be awarded it at a ceremony that will be held in the Government Plaza Multi-Purpose Room, North Tower side, at 1 o'clock p.m., and that this award is equivalent to the letter of commendation and will count for 3.0 EDP points. On March 2002 was given a Crystal Ball Award. On July 23, 2002, Curtis successfully completed a 4-hour capstan training course conducted by the Mobile Police Department. This was done so he could carry capstan, spelled C-A-P-S-T-U-N. It's now February 11, 2004. Today, Curtis Ezell is now Officer 2. And is getting close to retirement with the city and can leave October, but if he used his sick time he could leave February. And Curtis also has a new home at 10869 Waltman Drive South. Curtis's wife Margie is so good to him and she loves him very much. Who knows what will happen now? Curtis prays for a good future, and if God is willing it will be.